Hi everyone, it's Lisa. I thought I would share with you a little bit about narrative therapy. So most of you who have been following me for quite some time remember the days of our live storytelling events. And that's really where this entire journey began, was creating space for women to share their stories, right? That's what I constantly talk about. That's what I'm so fascinated by, is stories and words. But what I discovered as women started taking the stage at my events and sharing their stories is it wasn't just the stories themselves that were so powerful. It wasn't just sharing the stories and giving voice to the stories, which is what I talked about for so many years, is the idea of releasing our stories and being witnessed by a community of women, how powerful that can be. But what I soon discovered was it actually was the narrative of the story where women really did grow, heal, and transform. And it was those women who shared their stories who had yet to entirely transform the narrative, who did not necessarily see the power of the moment, did not necessarily see the growth and the healing in the days, weeks, or months to come. They felt the power of having released that, which is truly healing. But it was really the narrative piece of those stories that had the ability to transform them. And I was lucky enough in 2019 to learn about a modality, a psychology modality called narrative therapy. And I took it upon myself to learn more about this practice in 2020, and now am finalizing my narrative therapy certificate, and really looking forward to sharing with all of you what makes this practice so different and so unique than traditional therapy and from life coaching, because it's an interesting space that finds itself somewhat in the middle. I feel like that's my life, somewhat in the middle. Oh my gosh, I'm just laughing at myself now. My life has been this intersection. There has been this intersection my entire life of so many different things, and I talk about it a lot. But even with narrative therapy, it's this beautiful intersection between therapy, which is really, healing the past, healing ourselves, and this idea of life coaching, which is, movement forward, and mindset work and self-belief systems. And it's narrative therapy is this beautiful bridge between the past and the present. And it's a bridge between healing and growth. But it truly is deeply rooted in the narratives. Not only the narratives we tell ourselves, so it's not solely self-centric, but it is this idea of the stories, the narrative that we tell ourselves, but then what we actually tell other people. Because what we tell other people, then it becomes reality. That is how that person knows us to be, knows who we are. That's also how we've identified ourselves to others, with words, with stories. So it's not just a mindset thing. It's really in how we communicate the stories and the narratives of our lives. And there can be so much healing and growth that comes from not only reframing in our mind, that mindset work, but also in taking that mindset work, those thoughts, transforming them, putting them into words, and truly sharing them with others, whether that's just your best friend or whether that's in a larger group. It's this narrative piece, because I always like to say our life is a collection of stories. It's the narrative. The narrative is a thread that ties these stories together to create meaning. And it's in the meaning of our lives where we truly are living and creating our identity. And that's where we can thrive. And that's also where we can hold ourselves back. So I invite you to continue to watch, listen, learn as I share more about narrative therapy, more about the programs and the restructuring that we have, and really hope that you can glean some light and hopefully make some of your own personal changes that will help you as you continue to grow and heal in your own journey. Thank you.